Hey guys, Darren Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight we're going back to the state of Arkansas, where I went to college. I grew up there a little bit, love the state, just a lot of great fisheries there. It's near and dear to my heart. I'm very, very excited to bring in Mr. Quincy Houchin. He got second place last year in the BFL Arkie Division tournament on Lake Hamilton. He finished second to Mr. Spencer Sheffield. We've already had a podcast with him, so we're very, very excited to get to talk to a little bit more of the top five and how they caught their fish. Quincy is a phenomenal angler in the state of Arkansas. From Beaver Lake to the Arkansas River to Lake Ouachita, Lake Hamilton, this guy knows how to catch them, so we're very honored to have him on board tonight. Real quick before we get started, if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, be sure to check out our website. We're a premium CBD company that offers premium CBD products to all outdoor enthusiasts. We're THC-free and made right here in America. We're also accepting pro staff, so all the outdoor enthusiasts out there, whether you're hunting or a fishing enthusiast, make sure you check out our website, check out our pro staff opportunities. We'd be happy to accept all applications and get you on to represent Revital Outdoors. Also, check out our Facebook and Instagram page, our social media accounts. And then if you haven't done already, make sure you hit the subscribe button to this YouTube channel. That way you get notified when all of our content is dropping. And we've got a lot of content coming in the near future. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this podcast. I'm very, very excited. Mr. Quincy Houchin, how you doing this evening, bud?
I'm doing good.
Good. So, well, man, let's get right into it. You know, we've known each other for several years now. I've always known you as one of the godfathers of fishing to the state of Arkansas. I mean, I would really compare you to the Ron Sheffields of the world, the Spencer Sheffields of the world, the Stetson Blaylocks, just all the phenomenal anglers in Arkansas. You can stand right there toe-to-toe with them. You're very versatile in multiple techniques. But diving into Lake Hamilton last year, the BFL, the first tournament of the year for the Arkie Division in 2021, you got second place. Talk to us about that tournament, man. Like, how much did you practice? What were the baits that you kind of keyed in on? Maybe the techniques. What just happened for you?
You know, it was, it just had just come a big rain and muddied Lake Hamilton up pretty good. And I'm not used to fishing that lake like that. So it kind of worried me a little bit, but it was one of the ones where they had a tournament on Lake Hamilton and then Ouachita the next day.
Right.
Didn't have much time to practice, so I went to Hamilton for a few hours and just so happened, that dirty water, of course, I'm used to the river, you know, they was doing right. So basically, it was just a chatterbait. Generally, it's an A-rib, but I didn't feel real good with the muddy water. So I was just basically went back to the ditch fishing, and chatterbait was the deal.
Okay. This is already a surprise to me because I know you as an Alabama rig guy. I know you tinkered a little bit making your own Alabama rig. I think you know this guy named Jamie Black and Cody Kemp, so you probably tinkered with them a little bit when the Alabama rig first hit the scene. So you were using a chatterbait.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm intrigued. Like, walk us through that if you don't mind. Like, what brand of chatterbait, what size, what color, all that.
It was jackhammer chatterbait, and can't remember the exact color, but it had chartreuse and white and silver in it.
Okay.
But it was, just a jackhammer like everybody's throwing, you know. But and then you know the chartreuse because the muddy water was dirty. I did try a black one at first, you know, for a little bit, black and blue, but I couldn't get bit on it. Like I said, I only stayed in practice on Hamilton for probably 3 hours. I mean, it was just phenomenal. And I knew I needed more practice on Ouachita for Sunday. So I left there and went there, and then the tournament worked out good, but not good enough.
Right. No, I understand. Hey, second place is still nothing to fault. Especially, you know, trying to beat Spencer Sheffield. He's just a hammer on Lake Hamilton. But, well, talk to us a little bit. So you're throwing a jackhammer. So that means you were kind of fishing shallow.
Oh, yeah. That was probably – all of them was in 5 foot or less, you know, with that dirty water. It had tightened up and stuff like that. Well, you know, if it hadn't been for that, I would have been out, you know, deep with a Alabama rig and a football jig. But I would much rather have been throwing chatterbait, you know, but normally that's not the deal. Just so it fell that way. And, you know, to make things worse, Spencer come up right at the end there and he said, showed me a picture of the fish he had, and it had a big crappie in its mouth. And he said, and I only lost about, 3 ounces, I think?
Right.
Yeah, he said, that's what won it for me.
Oh, good Lord. Spencer would do that. What a guy. Okay, so you were fishing shallow a little bit. Were you catching your fish all day? How many keepers did you catch? Was it kind of an all day bite, or did it something like happen in a flurry or throughout the day, or what happened?
It did kind of happen. I would say probably by 11, I had everything that I weighed in. But it was just mainly just covered in water. You might catch one around a wood dock pole, and you might catch one around a piece of wood sticking up. Mainly just I've always been known for just covering tons of water. I seem to accidentally get it in front of one better that way. Uh, Other than that, that was really about it.
Right, right. Well, I got a like a really short story, and it's kind of funny. I remember fishing a BFL tournament on Lake DeGray in 2014, I believe it was, and or no, it was 2013. And again, the Alabama rig was still a little bit new, still kind of coming out. I drew out with a fellow from North Little Rock, and we saw you going down the bank, and your motor was out of the water. You had the trolling motor on high, and you were burning down the bank.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I wonder if Quincy's looking for bedding fish or what he's doing. And I saw you winging this Alabama rig, and I'm like, man, what is he doing? And my boater looked at me. He goes, Quincy's doing what Quincy does, and that is his trolling motor is always on high.
Yeah.
So,
No boater one time he asked me. He said, and I knew what he was meaning when he said this. He said, "Do you ever use your power pose?" Launching,
yeah,
getting my boat out of the water.
I hear you. Well, there's something to be said for the anglers that cover a lot of water. You know, this deep, clear water lakes, especially in Arkansas, you do want to cover a lot of water. So, talk to us. You know, did you find a group of fish in practice, or did you just cover a lot of water and you just caught the keepers that you caught and it ended up being good enough for second place?
Yeah, I just covered the water. I didn't. I mean, in practice the day before, the few hours I was there, I kind of seen exactly. It was just natural fishing. I mean, you saw a piece of wood, there'd be one on every third one. Like some wood dock poles. Like I said, the water was muddy, so they were tapped to stuff. So that's pretty much that's it.
Okay. Okay. So, well, when you left the tournament last year, how many rods did you have on the deck? I know you said you caught them on chatterbait, but just out of curiosity, how many rods did you end up on the deck when you left for the tournament last year?
I had 4, I believe it was. I always have a few dummies up there. You know what I mean? But I used one rod all day.
Okay. So stuck to the chatterbait. A lot of different trailers out there for the chatterbait now. If you don't mind me asking, what kind of trailer do you like to use?
That what's it called? Golly, the one that stretches, the Z-Man. I can't remember the name of it though.
Okay, so the Z-Man Elastec, I know what you're talking about. It's kind of mimic. It's got the jointed sides on it, and it's what they made just for the jackhammer. Yeah. Okay.
With the Sicko or the Gary Yamamoto version, it looks like that.
Right. Right. So
but
okay.
It stretches. It'll never break.
Yeah, it's got the Elastec plastic from Z-Man that they're known for. Absolutely. How many keepers did you catch throughout the day?
Seemed like I called like 3 times. It wasn't just no ton of bites. And I don't think my no boater had anything. I don't think. But it wasn't like it was just I just caught the right fish.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Did were you fishing any docks? Did docks factor in anybody, or were you just fishing the rock in the wood or Lake Hamilton?
Yeah, just running and gunning. There was nothing in particular. I already knew where stretches of wood was. Between that and certain dock poles, they seemed to be holding on, and I was just covering water.
Okay. Okay. So that really is interesting. Now let's look forward to the tournament this year. Again, starting out at Lake Hamilton. Last year, a little bit colder weather, a little bit dirtier water, a little bit higher water, a lot of rain happening in the state of Arkansas. Doesn't seem like the same thing's happening this year. I think Lake Hamilton's going to be kind of the same normal pattern that it sees in the winter and clearer water. So, what do you anticipate this year?
Pretty much, I'll have 2 A rigs on the deck and football jig and a trap. It's good. I don't think we're going to get a bunch. We're supposed to get some rain between now and this Friday, but I think it'll be cleared up by the next week. And it'll be more of a typical Hamilton winter fishing then.
Okay. Okay.
Catch them if it's 10 degrees or 80 degrees. You can catch them shallow there.
For sure.
That. But you'll be able to do both.
Okay. Okay. As far as weight wise, what do you anticipate the weights are going to be? And does an angler need a mixed bag of the spotted bass and the largemouth, or they should, if they want to win, they should just key in on the largemouth?
Better key in on largemouth. Uh, I'm gonna guess about like last year, 16 to 18, somewhere in that area. That's what I think will win, but I don't think you're going to have as many higher weights. I think there's going to be lower weights down from third down, than normal.
Right.
Number
Okay.
weird right now around here.
Really? So, well, have you had kind of like a weird winter? Is it been a warmer winter or a colder winter? Like, what when you say weird, what's going on?
It's almost like it's not a steady cold enough. Like Washita, Hamilton, the Gray, to me, have always been better if it stays cold. It's been cold, then it'll get hot for a week, then it'll get back cold. I guess that's got something to do with it. Of course, that's just my thinking.
Right.
But it's definitely not like it should be.
Okay. Okay. So, well, a couple last questions. As far as you mentioned throwing a jig, what's a good color pattern that an angler can throw on Lake Hamilton? There's a myriad of different color patterns and jigs, but what's something that do you like to keep it simple? Do you like to change it up a little bit? What's something you think about for a good jig on Lake Hamilton this time of year?
I keep it simple, something green pumpkin with a little orange and, chartreuse in the back of it, a few strands. Same thing on the trailer or something. I'll have one with, raised crawl, flapping the legs on it, and I'll have one with just something like a straight tail, menace or a beaver or something like that on it. But us anglers are bad to overthink stuff, in my opinion. And to me, the simpler I can keep it, the better I seem to be. All these new baits coming out, I know it's good for the tackle company for sure, but and my boat's loaded down with all of it, but I still primarily use the basic stuff.
Okay.
As everybody. We all
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Everyone's kind of throwing the same thing. So, and then my last question is for a co-angler watching this, what would you anticipate a co-angler doing well in this tournament? What if he could take 3 rods? What 3 rods would you recommend a co-angler taking?
He's probably going to need a trap and probably a jig head worm, and it's hard for 2 people to throw a Alabama rig, depending on how the boater's fishing. And, maybe even a Carolina rig, but I've never been a Carolina rig fan, but it seems like if no boater throws it out of the back of the boat and a jig head worm, he can catch more behind him. And it's hard for the co-angler to do what the boater's doing and catch fish, in my opinion.
That's a fact. So, okay. When you say a jig head worm, are you talking like a shaky head?
Yeah, shaky head, yeah.
Okay. So, well, Quincy, it's been an honor having you on with this podcast. We know that you're going to do really, really well at Lake Hamilton. You're just an absolute hammer. Like I said, I would put you into the category of the Godfathers in Arkansas. You just do so well. You're very versatile around the state. I know you've had a lot of success in the BFLs, the Arkansas Bass Team Trails, the Mr. Bass of Arkansas. You just really done well. But, I want to give you the floor. Any final thoughts? I know you have a lot of people you work with, a great family and a great friend base as well. So anybody you want to thank, sponsor-wise, or anybody that helps Quincy Houchin as a tournament angler in the state of Arkansas, now's the time to do so.
Yeah, definitely get outdoors there in Bryant, Arkansas. Josh Bustle in there, he carries the graphs and all the tackle you could ever imagine. Phoenix Boats, definitely, and Mercury Outboards. That's really about it. Horizon Track and Marine, Aaron in Clarksville. I know you know who that is.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy. He wraps my boats, stuff like that. Just, without all that help, it would be hard to do. Definitely.
For sure. So, well, Quincy, it's been an honor having you on. We hope to have you again on our podcast for Vital Outdoors very, very soon. We wish you the best of luck this year, and just go catching, buddy. And I know you know what you're doing out there, so we'll be rooting for you.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. So from all of us at Vital Outdoors, we want to thank everyone that's tuned into this podcast with Quincy Houchin, an absolute hammer in the state of Arkansas. He's going to be fishing the Arkansas Arkie division this year with the BFL in Major League Fishing. So we're wishing him all the best of luck. Guys, from all of us at Vital Outdoors, thank you for tuning in to another one of our podcasts. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done already. Be safe out there. God bless, and we will talk to you soon.